Hello everyone, welcome to Daily Current Affairs Analysis brought to you by Shankar IAS Academy. Today we will be seeing the current affairs for the day of 23rd of August 2025. For regular updates, please subscribe the channel. The topics which we will be seeing today are: first one, the Constitution 138 Amendment Bill of 2025 and the criminalization of politics. Second one is about the Kulasekarapattinam Spaceport. Third topic is about Central Consumer Protection Authority. Fourth one is about the Gaganyaan Mission. And fifth one is the Prelims Focus, where we will be seeing one-liners which can be directly asked in prelims as statements and also can be quoted in mains as examples. Before we start, I have a small suggestion. The UPSC mains exams for this year has started, and today the GS1 and GS2 papers will be held. Now, people who have been preparing for 2026 or 2027 can consider this as a UPSC mock exam and give at their home itself. For example, they can start from tomorrow, and in day 1 they can give the essay paper from 9 to 12, and day 2 in the morning 9 to 12 they can give the GS1, and in the afternoon from 2 to 5 they can give GS2, and in day 3 in the morning they can give GS3, and in the afternoon 2 to 5 they can give GS4. Now it's almost 9 months for the prelims exam. So generally it's known, I can understand that many topics from the syllabus would have been completed by many students. It's okay. This exercise is not for judging how much you know, but just as a learning exercise. So there is a difference between giving practicing answer writing for 2-3 questions daily, or giving one full length test, and the giving 5 papers in 3 consecutive days. It has its own challenges. Now if we give this and like a mock exam, we will learn many things. For example, we can first check whether we are able to sit for 3 hours continuously. Second, broadly those questions can be classified into 3 categories: the questions which you all know, second the questions which you know something, third which you totally don't know. The questions which you know something and which you already know, you can check whether are you able to translate whatever is coming in your mind into words, and keep in mind that the points which you write in means answers should be crisp and concise. And second type of question for which you don't know, you can check whether you can attempt the questions with regard to the knowledge which you have. You can give this exam for these 3 consecutive days and later check with the question analysis video which will be available in the YouTube or in the net. Then the first thing you are supposed to do is to check whether you have understood the question properly or not. You are supposed to understand the demand of the question and also the keyword associated with it. For example, the question is asked about evaluate the working of Monetary Policy Committee. You are supposed to evaluate the MPC, not just write about MPC. So you can check these things. So if you give it as a mock, I will ensure that it will be one of the finest mock and it will be very helpful for your preparation. I am reiterating again, this exercise is not to judge about how much you know. It's not to feel demotivated just because you are not able to finish the paper, or just because you just finished 30% of paper. It's not for these things. It is just a learning exercise. Please consider it as a mock by the UPSC. Thank you. In this topic, we will see about the 130th Constitution Amendment Bill of 2025 and criminalization of politics. First, we will see about the criminalization of politics. It refers to the participation of persons with criminal charges or convictions in politics and elections. Why it is serious? It undermines democracy, rule of law, and good governance. Now we will see the data regarding the 2024 Lok Sabha, and is taken from the Association for Democratic Reforms report. In the report, it stated that approximately 46% of MPs have declared criminal cases and 31% have serious criminal cases, which include murder, attempt to murder, crimes against women, and corruption. Now if we see this graph, we can see that the percentage of MPs with criminal cases and also with serious criminal cases has risen compared to the previous Lok Sabhas. This graph can be even used in mains. Now we will see with regard to the current legal framework regarding the disqualification of MPs and MLAs. It is the section 8 of the RPN 1951 which deals with the disqualification on conviction. It states that it is with regard to debarring persons convicted of certain offences from contesting elections or continuing as MP or MLAs for 6 years. Now there are 3 clauses, section 8, clause 1, clause 2 and clause 3. These deals with different types of offences, different types of jail term and the time from which the 6 years is counted. The important one is section 8 clause 4. It was struck down in the Lily Thomas vs Union of India case of 2013 by the Supreme Court. Now we will see about the proposed amendment in this bill. Its objective is to prevent ministers from undermining constitutional morality and good governance. It aims to amend the Articles 75, 164 and 239 AA of the Constitution. These articles deals with the ministers at the union level, in the state legislatures and in the union territories with the legislatures. The clause is a minister detained for 30 consecutive days on charges punishable with imprisonment greater than or equal to 5 years. Now, on the 31st day, the Prime Minister advises the President to remove the minister. If the PM does not advise by the 31st day, the minister automatically ceases to hold office from the next day. Here, at the union level, is the Prime Minister advising the President. At the state level, it is the Chief Minister advising the Governor. And in the Union Territory, it is the Chief Minister advising the Lieutenant Governor. Now, another feature is it's applicable to the Prime Minister and Chief Ministers as well. Another aspect is removal is reversible upon release from the custody. Now, there have been 2 recent cases. One is with regard to a minister from Tamil Nadu and another is regarding the former Delhi Chief Minister. In both the cases, these 2 persons were jailed, and even in jail, when they were in jail, they were continuing to be the ministers. Now, what is the significance of this bill? It upholds constitutional morality. Law breakers cannot be the lawmakers. Second is, it addresses criminalization of politics directly at the ministerial level. Third is, it ensures accountability and integrity in governance. Fourth is, it reduces the chances of the ministers to influence investigation, intimidate witness or misuse the state machinery. When they are in power, they can affect these things, but when they resign, the chances of influencing these things are greatly reduced. Next aspect is about public trust. It ensures that a public trust is upheld. Previously, when there were incidents, for example, in the Me Too movement, in social media, if you have seen, there were accusations on persons who were holding power. These are just accusations and the police complaint was not yet filed. Even then, there was public outcry that these persons should resign from their post. So similar things applies to here also. Now we will see the concerns with regard to this bill. First thing is about the erosion of due process and presumption of innocence. We have the concept of innocent until proven guilty. Here, just because a person is jailed for 30 days, we are assuming that the person has committed a crime and is guilty, even before the court pronounces the judgment. Second is the threat to federalism. The union government can misuse this law using the central agencies to jail the chief minister or the ministers of the particular states, thereby undermining the federal structure of this constitution. Third is regarding the horse trading. Again, the union government can misuse the bill and intimidate the ministers and eventually ask them to switch their political affiliations. The next aspect is about this 30 days. This 30 days seems to be unfair because the 30 days is too short for even for investigative agencies to collect evidence and to find whether the person is really an accused or not. Nowadays, even there are many false cases being framed against a person. So this 30 days is too short to prove whether the person is guilty or innocent. Now we'll see the Law Commission's 2014 report with regard to disqualification. It first rejected the filing of charge sheet by the police or court's cognizance stage as valid grounds for disqualification. Instead, it said that disqualification should start when charges are framed by a court as it shows prima facie judicial satisfaction. The reason is disqualification before application of judicial mind is against natural justice and amounts to penalizing without due process. Now we will move on to next article. In this topic, we will be seeing about Kulasekarapattinam Spaceport. First, we will see about Kulasekarapattinam. It's located in the Thoothukudi district of Tamil Nadu. Historically, it was an important port on the Coromandel coast, along with Kaveripatnam, also known as Poompuar, and Arikameru. And since 1st century CE, it is a trading hub for the Pandya dynasty. And during the colonial times, the Thoothukudi port emerged as a dominant port, and hence the prominence of this Kulasekarapattinam port declined. Now we will see about the Kulasekarapattinam Spaceport. It will be the India's second spaceport after the Satish Dhawan Space Center in Andhra Pradesh. It is proposed by ISRO to cater specifically to small satellite launch vehicles, that is SSLVs. Now what's the significance? First aspect is about the geographical advantage. It lies near the equator. So because of higher velocity of Earth's rotation, it will consume less fuel. Second is its trajectory is away from the mainland. So in case of failure, the rockets will fall onto the seas. Second is aspect is about boost to SSLV program. First thing in this is it will reduce or decongest the Sriharikota. Second is the SSLVs are designed for quick on-demand launch for satellites. Third aspect is about economic and strategic benefits. It will enhance India's share in small satellite launch vehicles and hence strengthen India's position in the global space market. And fourth one is about the regional development. Along this area, there will be boost to industrial growth and employment opportunities. Now we will see about small satellite launch vehicle. It is a 3-stage launch vehicle with 3 solid propulsion stages, and in the terminal stage it has liquid propulsion based velocity trimming module. Now this velocity trimming module is used to precisely place the satellite into the orbit in the final phase, and it is capable of launching mini, micro and nano satellites which weighs from 10 to 500 kg into a 500 km orbit. Now we will see the key features of SSLV. It is low cost, it has low turnaround time, and it is flexible in accommodating multiple satellites, and it can be launched on demand feasibility, and it has minimum launch infrastructure requirements. These are the key features of SSLV, and it will enhance India's share in global satellite launch market. Now, having seen about SSLV, we will see how the questions can be asked. In prelims, they can ask about the types of orbit. For example, low Earth orbit, geosynchronous orbit, geosynchronous transfer orbit. Or directly they can ask about why Kulasekarapattinam is advantageous for satellite launch. Also, they can also ask about the different types of launch vehicles and their features. For example, they can ask about PSLV. It's a 4-stage launch vehicle with stages of solid, liquid and again solid and again liquid. Whereas in GSLV is a 3-stage with solid, liquid and cryogenic stage. So these are the type of questions they can ask in prelims. In mains, they can ask about how space sector can help in India's development, or they can also ask about how opening the space sector to commercial will enhance India's economic development. So in these lines, the questions can be asked regarding this topic. Now we will move on to the next topic. This topic is about Central Consumer Protection Authority, that is CCPA. Why it is in news? Because it has fined Rapido it has imposed penalty of rupees 10 lakh on Rapido for misleading advertisement. For advertisement of auto in 5 minutes or get rupees 50 and guaranteed auto. Now, what the guidelines for prevention of misleading advertisement and endorsements 2022 states that disclaimers in advertisement shall not contradict the main claim, conceal material information, or be used to correct a misleading claim. So, in this, what happened is, what the investigation found, after investigation, they found out that this get rupees 50 was actually up to rupees 50, and this rupees 50 was not actually in cash or money transfer, but in a form of coins. And these coins had a limited period in which they need to be used, and also they need to be used in the same app for same booking. So effectively the consumers had got lesser value than what it was advertised. So they imposed a penalty of rupees 10 lakhs on Rapido. Now we will see about CCPA. It is established under the Section 10 of Consumer Protection Act of 2019. Now this Consumer Protection Act of 2019 is important one. It can be asked in both prelims as well as mains. Also do check which act it replaced. Now its nodal ministry is Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution. It regulates matter regarding to violation of consumer rights, misleading advertisement and unfair trade practices. Now we will see about its powers and function. It has all three powers of investigative, regulatory and advisory. Under investigative powers, it can inquire into violations of consumer rights. It can order recall of unsafe goods and services, and it can also direct discontinuation of unfair practices. Under regulatory powers, it can issue safety notices against hazardous goods or services, pass orders to stop misleading advertisements, and impose penalties on endorsers or manufacturers. Under advisory or promotional role, it spreads awareness about consumer rights. It advises government on policy matters. This is an important one. CCPA deals with the class action matter. So what is this class action matter? It is that collective group of people not related to individual. It deals as consumers as whole. For individual grievances or complaints, we need to approach the National Consumer Helpline. This point is an important point and can be asked in prelims if they are going to ask for CCPA. Now we will move on to the next topic. In this topic, we will see about the Gaganyaan Mission. Recently, our group captain, Mr. Sudhanshu Shukla sir, participated in the Axiom 4 mission and returned from the International Space Station. ISRO compiled these learnings into a 4,000-page document, and it will be used directly into the training for Indian astronauts for the Gaganyaan Mission. So we will see about the Gaganyaan Mission. This is the first human spaceflight mission under ISRO. It's targeted for the year 2025-26, and its goal is to send a 3-member crew into low Earth orbit for 3 days and return safely. And the launch vehicle used will be the human-rated LMV-3, that is Launch Vehicle Mark 3. So in prelims, we can expect questions on these two. They can twist the low orbit. Instead of asking the low Earth orbit, they might say that it's geosynchronous orbit, and they can also change the launch vehicle used for it. Instead of LMV-3, they can mention it as PSLV or SSLV. Next, it contains these two. First is the crew escape system. What is it? During emergency at the takeoff phase or the ascent phase, the crew escape system will eject the crew module along with the crew to safety. And it has this is the orbit module. It has crew module and service module. The crew module is a pressurized cabin for astronauts equipped with environment control and life support systems. The surface module provides propulsion, power and life support. This orbit module will be actually orbiting the Earth. Then we will see about the astronaut training. Phase 1 was conducted with the Russians Gagarin Cosmonaut Training Center, and phase 2 is the advanced training in India, which includes simulation modules, human centrifuge and microgravity experiments. Apart from this, there are other aspects. First one is ISRO's Human Spaceflight Center in Bengaluru oversees the Gaganyaan Mission, and as part of technology demonstration, ISRO has successfully tested the crew escape system in October 2023. In upcoming test is going to test vehicle demonstration and also plan uncrewed missions before the human flight. We have also have collaboration with France CNES for medical support. In this, apart from these discussed, we need to also see about Vyomonaut and Vyomitra. From these topics, we can also expect a direct prelims question. Now we will move on to the next topic. The next topic we will see is about the prelims focus. These are the short notes which can be asked in prelims directly and can be quoted in mains as examples. First one is regarding leadless pacemaker. It's a tiny bullet-shaped device implanted directly into the heart via a vein in the leg, eliminating the need for wires or a surgical pocket. Its key advantages include reduced infection risk, quicker recovery, longer battery life, and greater comfort, making it especially beneficial for elderly patients with multiple health risks. So this is the diagram regarding difference between a conventional and dual chamber leadless pacemaker. Next is about Grok Imagine. It is developed by Elon Musk's XAI. It is an advanced AI powered tool that generates images and videos from text prompts or uploaded images. It offers 4 video styles: normal, fun, custom, and spicy, allowing users to create visuals with varying levels of creativity and personalization. So this can be directly asked in prelims. They can also include names like Grok Imagine, DALL-E are examples of what, and they can give 4 options and we might need to select one among them. So they are advanced AI powered tool to generate images and videos from text prompts or uploaded images. Next one is regarding Pradhan Mantri Viksit Bharat Rozgar Yojana. It's a 1 lakh crore scheme aimed at creating 3.5 crore jobs in 2 years by supporting first-time employees and incentivizing employers. Its objective is to boost large-scale employment, formalize the workforce, enhance social security through EPFO coverage, and contribute to self-reliant developed India. So if they asked in prelims, this is a keyword, first-time employment, they might twist it here. Next topic is regarding Idonella sacanensis. It is a soil-dwelling bacterium discovered in Japan that can degrade polythene tetrafluoride, that is PET. It is a common plastic it is an example of a common plastic. It does by breaking it down into harmless building blocks that serve as a food for itself and other organisms, making it a potential solution to plastic pollution. This you can quote it as an example in mains. Next one is regarding Bhunil portal. It is launched by the Central Groundwater Authority under the Ministry of Jal Shakti. It's a one-stop platform for regulating and managing groundwater resources. It provides online NOC applications, compliance monitoring, and a centralized database to promote transparency, sustainable use, and water conservation. In prelims, when they ask about this, they can change the ministry and ask. And in mains, you can actually quote it as an example for where when you write the statements which promote transparency, sustainable use, or water conservation. That's all for today. If you found the video helpful, please like it and give your valuable feedback, and do subscribe the channel for regular updates. Thank you and have a nice day.